Hey guys, what's going on? So, I want to talk about not specifically the legendary changes, because I understand that that's what everybody wants to talk about, but that isn't even my particular problem with this whole thing. There's a lot of problems with that whole thing. And if you haven't gone to go see it, Rush Royale Tips and Tricks, Bear, he actually just posted a video about it. I agree with everything that he said in the video, but I am not specifically here to talk about that because I'd rather talk about this, because this is my real problem with this whole fiasco of what's happening. I want to talk about the dissemination of information, and it's how we are getting information and how we don't have all of the information. And they've already confirmed, and it's too late, but they've already confirmed that there was no dev account. You will not be seeing a Momo Royale or an iFriend Gaming or a Godlike Mike doing videos about this update. You will not see Sentry gameplay. You will not see Archer gameplay. You will not see any of that. And there was a part of me that thought that that was fine, because it would be more exciting to get in-game and, experience it for the first time when it drops. That is more exciting than watching, some pro player, do max everything with it and then not being as excited when you get it, right? Then it feels like, it's like being very excited for a movie, and then looking at all the spoilers before you actually go see the movie, right? Like being on YouTube and finding out all the big moments before you get to watch the movie. Then you get to watch the movie and you're like, yeah, I already knew this was going to happen because I already saw it like a week ago. So in that regard, I like this, and I was very excited that we weren't getting dev accounts until, it's already the 10th. And this is supposed to be dropping sometime after the 15th. It's very soon. And part of me thought that was a good thing, right? But now we're getting to this nitty-gritty, specific things, these specific things that we need actual answers for. And my problem with this entire way that they're doing this is that there was a lot of information that we need, and we aren't getting it. So let me give you an example, and I won't use the legendary changes because that's an obvious example, or maybe it's not obvious to you. But I'll let you know why that's the big one right now. Let me show you a different example. That's much easier to understand. So, items and enchantments changes in 26.0. This is the official YouTube Rush Royale. They talked about Amulet of Swiftness and then the hammer, and then didn't talk about anything else, right? They gave you all these pictures, all of the, obviously the different enchantments, but they didn't talk about any of the enchantments. So, if you only know about the YouTube channel and you don't know about the Discord, they talked about enchantments, right? There will be a new amulet, new enchantments, and new ways of upgrading heroes. They talked about the Amulet of Swiftness. They talked about the hammer and didn't give you any information on enchantments. Why? Why not? My question is, why not? Oh, it's so that you can go to their Discord, and where they decided to talk about all of the enchantments, right? All of the enchantments are here. All of the information from YouTube, from their YouTube official post, right, is just here. So, if that's the case, why would you subscribe to the YouTube, right? If more information is here, why do you even need a YouTube channel? So, the dissemination of information goes from YouTube is basically useless. Don't subscribe to the YouTube because it doesn't give you all the information. And subscribe to the Discord because they will give you more information. Now, as a content creator, I get a little bit more information than this, but I can't share it because they only want things to be shared when they want to share it. And that is the higher level. That is one above me. So it goes YouTube, Discord, content creator, developer, right? That is the dissemination of information. And it gets better and better information as it goes up, right? But there are some things in here that I don't understand why they refuse to share. And they didn't even feel like there was a problem with this. And the biggest thing in this whole thing for legendary changes is it's the, where is it? Magic crystals and rune keys are out of the game. When the new update releases, you will receive a compensation to your mail. This is what they wrote on their YouTube, and it's what they wrote on the Discord. And this is the highest level that any regular person knows. It's that if you have magic crystals, you will be compensated. What does that mean? What does that mean? You're changing the entire legendary system. You're taking away magic crystals. What does that mean? I know what that means, but I also can't share what that means. I know what compensation everybody's getting, but I can't share that because the developers don't want to share that. They don't want me to know that to share that information because they didn't share that information. But why not? My question is why not? Why would you hide this information? And then they make posts that don't make sense. And what I mean by that is this is incredibly confusing. This post, it says the same total quantity, right? And there's a left to right comparison, right? One blade dancer in this first line, one blade dancer plus one crystal. Oh, after 26.0, one blade dancer plus one blade dancer. That makes sense. All right, we're on track. Here we go. Same total quantity. Second line, one blade dancer plus 3 crystals. What should that be? One blade dancer plus 3 crystals. Same, because that adds up to 4. That number adds up to 4. What do we have on the right? One blade dancer plus 2 blade dancers. That's not the same total quantity. 2 blade dancers plus a package of crystals, an unknown number of package of crystals, is equal to 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is like a weird, like, oh, you have to see that how many blade dancers are in this picture? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see 6 patches of hair because there's hair in the back too. Why would you make it this confusing? This picture is making people think, and unnecessarily, when they said that they're getting rid of crystals, it's making people think that it's just going to be copies in the current number of copies, which would be 17, I believe. You currently need 17 copies and a whole bunch of crystals. What is it? 73 minus 17. You need that many crystals currently. And they're saying, oh, we're getting rid of crystals, right? Which is making people believe, okay, cool, awesome. We only need 17 copies and then we're done. We can take a legendary from 7 to 15. All we need is 17 copies. That's what that states. And that's definitely not what's happening. It's definitely 73 copies. Now, unless they change this number, which they should, they definitely should change this number because this number is insane. Going from 12 to 15 is going to take you 36 copies. Because it is the exact same number. 9, it's in the current form, it's 6 crystals. I'm sorry, 9 crystals and 3 copies. That's 12. It's 36 copies to go from 12 to 13, 13 to 14, and then 14 to 15. You need 36 copies to go from 12 to 15. instead of 9. That's the difference. Even if they're giving you more access to legendaries, even if we have the laboratory of experiments in order for you to be able to exchange legendaries in the same way that you would have exchanged crystals, you can only do the laboratory of experiments. I can't even open it. It's fine. You can only do the laboratory of experiments once every 3 days. And that's a chance at one of 5 legendaries that you are trying to upgrade. You need 36 copies. If you have a thing at 12, which is very close. I'm not even going to regard the first 7, 8, 9, 10 or 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm not even going to regard the first 5 levels. If you are very close to maxing a legendary, and make no mistake, cards only matter at max. Nobody in this game says, "Oh, I have a 12. That's good enough." Like you either have a max unit or it's not great. It's going to take 36 copies to go from 12 to 15. It doesn't matter how many legendaries they're promising to give you. It's going to take you even longer than it did before. Only being able to use the laboratory of experiments once every 3 days, and only for a chance, at one of 5 specific legendaries, is insanity. This isn't even to regard people that are trying to max out event units. Because yeah, they're changing the mirror match and the Royal Trials and the Rush for Glory. They're changing all of that to be shared coins, right? There's going to be shared coins within all of it. You need 36 copies to go from 12 to 15, as opposed to 9 and useless legendaries. Now, I understand their reasoning for doing this. Players are currently forced to focus all their effort on a single deck. Although it's possible to convert unused units into magic crystals, the process still consumes all resources. Their idea is that when you are sacrificing Boreas for your magic crystals, to get magic crystals, in order to upgrade your Blade Dancer deck, their idea is that that's a problem, because then that means you can't upgrade a Boreas deck, and you can only focus on the one deck. That's the smart decision. The smart decision is to focus on one good deck, as opposed to 5 mediocre decks. But under the new system, there's no real reason. They're trying to make it so that there's no real reason to get rid of anything, and you should just keep collecting. This works for new players who are trying to collect everything. But for advanced people and people who understand the game, you build one deck that's good, because that's what's going to take you far in PvP. It doesn't matter that you have 12, level 10 decks. You have a Blade Dancer deck and a Cultist deck and a Inquisitor deck and a Monk deck, and they're all at level 9. And they're all level 9 decks. They're all basically the same. You want one deck to be level 15. You want all of your support cards to be level 15. With this new system, it's going to be so difficult to get that many copies, no matter how many legendaries they give you. To get 36 copies to upgrade 3 levels, event units, needing 36 event units to upgrade it to max. I made a meme of events. We're gonna find out who the whaliest whales are whenever there's a spin event, a holiday event, like the Bard event or the Riding Hood event or the Genie event, when people were spinning the wheel 15 times, I guess 17 times technically. I think they probably used a book, so maybe less than that. But when they needed 15 copies in order to max the legendary, to max the new event, you need 73 copies now. You're gonna have to spin that wheel 7,300 times. That is the definition of this patch. If they decide to not change the number of copies that you need, if they don't bring that number down to something else that's not 73, that's gonna be insane. That's an insane amount of copies. I don't know how you're getting copies now, how many copies you have now currently, even with the laboratory of experiments in this game, how difficult it is to get copies, because not every chest is going to be a pick your own legendary. Not every, like when you trade in magic dust, you're still going to get random legendaries. There might be like a seasonal, pick your own legendary. There might be the bell system. Oh, the bell system. The bell system. I believe I finally got a straight answer, but the bell system? Oh, where is it? I suppose if they don't even talk about it, I can't talk about it. Ah, here it is. You are guaranteed to receive a featured legendary unit of your choice after the first 30, then the next 40, then the next 50 summons. You would not believe, as a content creator, how difficult it was for me to get an answer on this. Does that mean, like when you try for this in summons, right? And you use the bells to summon a thing. Does this mean that once you hit 30, the clock resets, and then then it resets to 1, and then once you hit 40, then you get another one. Then when it resets again, then you hit 50, then that's when you get the third one? Does it mean that when you do, 120? Does that mean you get 3 pick your own legendaries every 120? Or does that mean at 30, at 40, and at 50, so when you do 50 spins, you get 3 legendaries? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, I know, because I'm a content creator, but I also can't tell you. Because that wording is incredibly different in one of two ways. And this is what I mean. Why is that a secret? My entire thing is, my entire basis for ranting right now is, why is this a secret? Why, and you wouldn't even have gotten this information, I don't believe, on the YouTube channel. So if you only subscribe to their YouTube, you needed to be on their Discord. And you wouldn't have the information that I have unless you were a content creator. And trust me when I say that as a content creator, knowing more information than what all of this tells you, we still have questions. We still have complaints. We still have a lot of things that we need answered about the validity of why they're doing all of this. Why they felt the need to completely revamp completely revamp the legendary upgrade system to what it was before. And you might argue, in the case that you were here before, when all you needed was copies, that when you needed copies, it was more copies. It was way more copies. You needed like 40 copies to upgrade something from 14 to 15 or something. It was insane, right? But they figured out the crystal system because then every unit that you didn't like, you could turn into a crystal and upgrade the things that you did want. Now they're like, no, you should just upgrade everything at the same time. Just keep all your legendaries, upgrade everything evenly. That's what they're trying to do. That would make the most sense. They're trying to say, don't worry about 36 legendaries, right? To upgrade from 12 to 15. Just upgrade everything at the same time. Just keep all your legendaries. And then eventually, like commons, epics, and rares, you will just upgrade everything, right? Because that's how commons, epics, and rares work. You don't focus down a common, epic, or rare. You don't think, oh my god, I need 1,000 copies of Archer to upgrade this. It's gonna take me so long to upgrade Archer. You never think like that. You just upgrade everything because you keep collecting. And that's what they're trying to do with legendaries, and that doesn't work for legendaries. Nobody wants to evenly collect level 7s and then level 8s and then level 9s, all of their things. And then everything goes to level 10. And then that would take you forever. Collecting every legendary at the same rate would take you forever. You just want, and your account would be terrible because you wouldn't be able to go up against people with max decks. But to get a max deck, you need 36 legendaries to go from 12 to 15. It's insanity. I make this video knowing that they are coming out with a video, I believe on Saturday, that is supposed to answer all of your questions. It's going to answer everything. It's going to be the all-encompassing, everybody's going to change their tune video. I make this video knowing that could happen. And that they have received enough feedback to understand that this, all of this is incredibly confusing. It's confusing to people who don't have a Discord. It's confusing to people who aren't content creators. It's confusing all the way around. That even when we get more information, like even when you go from a YouTube person to a Discord person to a content creator person, we still have questions. And the fact that there is secret information that some people know and some people don't, right? Because if you only had a YouTube, right? And I went back to that enchantment thing. If you only had a YouTube, right? And you don't have Discord, you didn't download Discord, right? And you only had YouTube, and that's where you got all your Rush Royale information. And they decided to say, new amulet, new enchantments, new hammer, right? And they just talked about the amulet and the hammer. What would be your question? What about those enchantments? And what if they just told you, oh, just wait. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't even worry about it. We'll release that information, when we're ready. But then you knew that information existed because you knew about Discord. But they just told you, oh no, it's fine. Like, just wait. We'll release that information whenever we feel like it. And then you have a Discord, right? And then you know about the enchantments. And there are certain percentages here that you don't know. And they were like, what are the percentages on these things? And they're like, oh no, don't worry about it. We'll release that information, when we get it. And you knew that a content creator knew more information. And as a content creator, you're looking at that and being like, okay, well, these are the percentages. Like, why did you decide to do that? And the developers are looking at you like, oh, don't even worry about it. We'll release that information, when we're ready. You can't talk about this. Don't tell them. Don't tell, like the community. Just, because this is just information for you. But like, we'll release that information when we want to. The dissemination of information in this game is insanity. And I think this patch proves that. Because this is the first patch where we have so many questions that need to be answered prior to the patch dropping. Right? How the percentage chance on a ballista activating, who cares? What should I do with my crystals now that you're going to get rid of all of them? That's kind of an important question. Should I get rid of them now because you're going to give us gold for the crystals? Should I get rid of them, or should I not get rid of them because you're going to give us a legendary for each of them? Who knows? Again, I know, but I can't tell you. Because we'll just let you know when we want you to know. That's when. That's when we're going to tell you. We're going to tell you whenever we feel like it. We're going to give you some amount of information, but not all the information. And then the important parts of the information, we'll just tell you later. It's fine. Don't even worry about it.